started with the topic. For those of you who have just joined, today's topic is going to be selling with affiliates and influencers. It's one of the best ways that you can start getting your store up and running and start bringing in some sales. So we're going to look at an example. So if we have a look at this store here, they sell lights, right? So they're in the light niche. They sell different types of lights, right? I'll show you a good example of how they use influencers. So if we have a look, I'll just go back to their page. We'll just go back to their Instagram page. So we can see this is their Instagram page. They've been running for quite some time on Instagram. They've got quite a lot of posts, but they basically work with all different types of influencers, and they send out products to influencers in exchange. So they'll offer a free product in exchange for a video. And then they use that video, they post that video across their socials. You can see they've got loads of videos here with, so, some of them get pretty decent engagement, 18K. This one's got 156,000 views, 10K here. Most of them are getting at least a couple thousand views, but they're posting quite regularly. And that's because they are sending out their products to influencers. If you are selling a product that is very reasonably, the cost of goods is quite reasonable. So let's say product costs you $15 and you send it to a small influencer in exchange for a video, then you're getting content basically for $15, which is very, very cheap. If you was to pay UGC creators on other platforms, you could pay $100-200 for a video. So, excuse me, I just needed to sneeze. The best strategy you can do is create an Instagram page for your store and start following pages related to that niche. So if we have a look here, if we go into their following, they're basically following loads of lighting and home stores, Home with Charlie. You can see Home at 9. Like, these are all home related pages. Some are large, some are small. So you can, if we go to this profile that I'm actually on, this is a soccer product, and we just follow loads of soccer pages, right? Loads and loads of soccer pages. So just follow pages related to your niche, and you'll start to find influencers, small ones, some small, some large. So you can start off by following the large ones. You just come into the search, and you could just search for example, this store, we could just search for home lighting, and we'll see loads of home lighting stores. And then we can see who they're following, okay? You can also have a look at who your competitors are following, and you can follow them. Once you've, I would recommend also posting some content on your page. So it can just be images to start with of your products. You can go into ChatGPT. You can post some images. If you have a look at this profile here, they just post lots of soccer images to start off with. Very easy to create. You can create these again with ChatGPT, with Canva, just so you've got some content on your page. So it looks like you're an actual brand that is posting. You don't have to have lots of content. You can see they've only got around 50 posts, okay? So post some content and start following some pages related to your niche. And then you can start reaching out to these small creators and offer them products in exchange for a video. So if we have a look at, for example, if we click on here, you can see they've created this video here for the product of this store. If we actually click on this, you can see this is a fairly small page, only 6,000 followers. They're not really doing it to get sales from this influencer. They do it for the content, right? Because then they can repost that content on their own socials. And this helps them build like a content machine where they basically effectively only pay the cost of goods for the video. So they've got all of these different videos here from loads of different creators, and they're just paying the cost of goods. Right? If we have a look at this one, you can see again, only 2,000 followers, very small page, but they're getting lots of content. And then what they do is they also use this content for their ads. Okay, so it's a good way to get, it's a very cost-effective way to get content, reaching out to small influencers. If we look at this one, she's only got 6,000 followers again. So you could send them a product in exchange for a video. You don't even have to pay them. Some of the bigger influencers will ask for payment, of course. So again, if like we have a look at this one, she's got 30K. So she's probably asked for, she might ask for $100 or $200 in exchange for a video. But some of the smaller ones, when you just want content, you could just send them a product. Let's have a look at this one. We can see only 5,000 followers. So again, you can just ask them for a video in exchange. Now they post on their socials. So you can see all of their videos are posted on their socials as a partnership with the store. So you help to gain followers on your page from the influencers pages. You help to build out your own socials with content. You help to get content that you can use for ads. And you can also use an app. You can use this app called UpPromote. This is a Shopify app. It's completely free and it lets you create an affiliate program for your store, right? So the way an affiliate program is, if you install this app, you create an affiliate program and you can give influencers a commission for every sale they refer to your store. So again, if we have a look at this store, if one of these influencers, let's have a look at this one, she's got 20K followers, right? This is a way to negotiate with influencers by having an affiliate program. You can offer them, like I say, just a free product in exchange for content. And you can say, here's an affiliate link, sign up for our affiliate program. Any sales that you bring through will give you 10%, okay, or 20%. You'll have to have a look at your margins and see how much you can afford to give away to your customers or to your affiliates, sorry. But yeah, this is a really, really cost-effective way. So for anybody who's already decided on their niche, if you haven't created an Instagram page for your store, go and create one. Start following some of your competitors' pages and see who they're following. And then you can start reaching out. Obviously, you can see she's got 100K followers. So she's probably definitely charging for content. But some of these smaller pages that I've shown you earlier with, 2, 3, 4, 5K, you can just send them a product in exchange for some content. And that way you could start building out an organic profile. You could bring in traffic. If we have a look here, this one got 1.6 million views, right? So this will definitely have brought in a lot of sales. Now this creator has got a lot of followers, but this video is probably a year old. So they likely worked with her before she got a lot of followers. You could see some this is some of their older content before they started working with influencers. So yeah, the main takeaways are: create an affiliate program with UpPromote. It's a completely free app. Start building out an Instagram page. Start following your competitor stores. Start following pages in your niche. And then you will be able to find more creators, smaller creators, and simply just DM them and say, we'll send you a product in exchange for a video. We also have an affiliate program that you can sign up for. We offer 20% commission on every sale that you refer. Send them out the product, and then they'll create a video for you, and you can start building out your pages like that. And then you can also use this content then to run ads as well. You'll have lots of content to run ads. So you can see there's lots of content here that can be used for ad campaigns. So I'll just have a look in the chat and see if anyone has any questions about this, because I think it's one of the best ways that you can bring in sales. You can build out, and you can build a brand around your store, because you can repost this content as well. So let's say you're posting on Instagram, you can also repost on TikTok. So then you could build on 2 platforms. Or you could also post it on YouTube Shorts. Depending on the niche, you could post it on Pinterest. So for example, the lighting niche is very popular on Pinterest. So you can repost all of those videos across Pinterest. Then you're getting traffic from multiple different platforms without even paying for ads. And you're getting the content for a very cheap price, because you're just getting content in exchange for a product. You give the influencer a product. If the cost of goods of the product is quite cheap, let's say $15, $20, $30, then you get loads of content for a very reasonable price. William said, does the lighting niche work well? If you find the right type of product, yes, it can work well. I would say home decor as a whole. So you could create a store in the home decor niche and lighting could be one of the categories in that niche. So you could test some lighting products and some other home decor products on a home decor store. Jill said, do TikTok influencers expect the product to be available in TikTok shop? Yeah, that's a good question. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. So you can just get them to promote your Shopify link. And if you have an affiliate program, then they won't really care, because basically, like a lot of TikTok creators, they like the product to be in TikTok shop because they get a commission as a TikTok affiliate. But if you have your own store affiliate program, they can still get commissions. So it doesn't really matter if the product's not on TikTok shop. Bella said, how can I find my competitors that aren't Amazon? Maybe I missed that session. Yeah, we do have that in the full product research session, but it's quite easy, really. You could just use Google initially. So let's say I wanted to start selling. Let's have a look. If we go to, we can come to AliExpress. We'll come into pet supplies. The only reason I come to AliExpress is because we can find lots of products. If you want to actually fulfill products, let me just log into Zendrop. You can request a product on Zendrop, right? So I'll just log in quickly. Close this. So yeah, if you wanted to start selling a pet product, you can find the product. So if you come to find products, you can either find it on Zendrop, or if you wanted to find something from AliExpress, then you can request a product. So you can go to request a product and paste in a link from AliExpress. So we'll have a look at some pet products. We'll go for, we'll just click on all of them. We'll have a look at the best sellers. So we will go for grooming, for example. And we'll have a look at if we can find something a little bit more unique and with, so let's just say this, right? It's kind of on the expensive side, but we'll just use this as an example. We'll say dog grooming. So you just come over to Google and you just type in the product that you're looking for. Then you'll see other competitor stores, right? So you can start looking at some of these stores. Of course, you'll see Amazon as well. Let's have a look. So let's have a look at this. Like I said, this is probably on slightly more on the expensive side, this product. But we can see it here. And then we can see if they're running any ads. So you can go to the Meta Ads library. We can see if that store is running any ads. So this is called Duke and Scoop. You can also install this Chrome extension called SimilarWeb, and we can see how much traffic this store is bringing in. So we can see last month they brought in 70K. This month they brought in, the month before that, but they brought in 65K. So we can do like a little bit of maths to figure out. Let's say this is their best seller and they brought in 70K visitors, 70,000. The average conversion rate for a store is about 2%. So divide by 100 times 2. So they've made about 1,400 sales if their average order value is £233. They brought in about 300K in revenue. So we could assume, this store is doing pretty decent. We don't know if it's definitely for this product, but we can look at the Meta Ads library and see if they're running any ads. They might just be running Google ads. So we'll go to Duke Scoop. See if we can find it. Seems to be this store here. So you can see they're not running any ads on Meta. So they're only running Google ads. But this is basically how you would do it. You can have a look at other competitor stores. that's kind of like a speed run of the way that you can look at competitors. Just have a look on Google, then look on SimilarWeb, see if they're bringing in traffic, and then have a look on the Meta Ads library and see if they're running any ads. Wazir said, how do you check Google ads? You can use a tool called SEMrush. I'll show you. It's slightly on the pricier side, though. I wouldn't recommend it for beginners, to be honest with you. So SEMrush, like I say, it's slightly expensive, but it will allow you to, if you come to advertising, you can see it's like $100 a month. You can basically check competitors' keywords. So, for example, we can paste in a link to their store into SEMrush and see all of the Google ads that they're running and what keywords that they're targeting. So it might not necessarily be for this product. They might be selling a different product that's bringing in majority of their sales. We can see based on their ads. But like I say, for a beginner, I would recommend firstly always trying to find a competitor running on Meta, because Google ads are a little bit more tricky to set up. Okay, for anybody who joined late, we are going over using influencers and affiliates as part of the 100 sales in 10 days challenge. Let me know in the chat for anyone who's just joined, if you've got your store up and running, how it's going. Have you done any marketing yet, or where you're at with your store? And feel free to put any questions. It doesn't have to necessarily be related to the topic of this call. You can put in any questions. Ashley said she's working on sourcing products. Yeah, if you're sourcing products, then you can always request a product in Zendrop. So you can just get a product. You can get a link, for example, from AliExpress, and you can paste it in here and request the product in Zendrop. Then Zendrop will provide you with a quotation. So you'll see you'll get a price quote, you'll get a shipping quote, and a total cost of the product. Flo said she's still setting a store up. Flo, sorry. Ashley said, can I brand the products? Yes, you can. In Zendrop, come to branding, and you can, under branding, you can set up custom thank you cards. And then once you're doing enough orders, you can join the private agent program, and then you can get even more branding options for your products. So you can brand from day one with custom thank you cards, and then you can brand even further to scale your store and build it. Bella said, I ran Facebook ads for days and got no ads, and got, I'm assuming you mean got no sales, but it was only images. Yeah, I think maybe I don't know if you've joined our call before with regard to reading the data. So what I would look at is look at the data for your ads. What was the CPM? What was the click-through rate? For image ads, those are really the main two things: the CPM, the click-through rate. If the click-through rate you want between 2 and 5%, CPM you want under $40. It also depends on the product as well. Some products don't work so well with image ads. It's hard to. Some products it's very easy to, to help a customer understand what the product does, the solution that it provides, or the pain point that it solves. With other products, it's not as easy to do with just an image. Wazir said, I've selected a product. The competition in the UK are less than in the US. And the thing is, they are running ads copying the US competitor and making sales. So should I also start copying others' content and tweak it or change it a little and start posting until the product reaches my country? Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. So basically, Wazir has ordered the product himself, so he can create his own ads. But until the product arrives for him to create his own ads, he's saying, can he edit some of the competitors' content just to start testing? Yeah, if you just want to start testing and getting an idea of if people are going to click through to if there's any interest in the product, you can do that until you can create your own ads. Or I would say, create your own image ads. Start testing with image ads in the meantime. There is a website called Creative OS um, that lets you create really good image ads. So have a look at this. You can get a, let's have a look because I think, well, they have a discount right now, but yeah, you could just use it for a month, create loads of ads, and then you can cancel the subscription. But basically, they have lots of like high converting templates for image ads. So you could also test with image ads instead of copying your competitor stores. You can create custom image ads for your product. For custom packaging, you need to start getting 20 orders per day. So you can use the private agent service with Zendrop. Then you can get custom packaging set up. Roymer said, is it possible to add AliExpress and Zendrop to work with both platforms and join products to my store? You don't really need to use both platforms. I recommend to just click on request a product and request the product from AliExpress. If you can't find it on Zendrop, just create a request and then you can fulfill AliExpress products with Zendrop. So then you can just use one platform. Ashley said, would that work for branded products? If you mean branded, like big brands, like, I don't know, Nike and Adidas, and you can't sell those types of products. So I don't know if that's what you're referring to. Yeah, you could put your logo on the packaging. Like I say, once you're making 20 sales per day, you can use the Zendrop private agent service, and then you can get your logo on the packaging. But you have to be making 20 sales per day first. iPhone said, what's the name of the image creation website? It's called creativeos.com. You'll see here, Creative OS. You can basically import the templates into Canva, and then you can create lots of image ads. Jill said, is it the same with Alibaba? Yeah, I believe you can paste in a link. When you're requesting a product, you can paste a link from Alibaba as well. Ashley said, can I source from AliExpress and fulfill with Zendrop? It's not really sourcing with AliExpress. Your Zendrop will source and fulfill the product, but they need to know what product you want to source and fulfill. So you just paste in a link from AliExpress so they know what product to find for you. So when you request a product, you're requesting it from an AliExpress link, but when you actually start selling that product, Zendrop will source and fulfill the product for you. And or Alibaba as well. Yeah, you can request products with an Alibaba link as well. Okay, let's see if there's any more questions coming through. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't have to be related to today's topic. You can ask basically any question as part of the 10-day 100 sales in 10 days challenge. Hopefully everybody has their stores set up, ready to go. We have gone through a lot in these through the entire challenge. We've covered a lot of content regarding setting up your store, researching products, making your store look professional, having a high converting product page. So yeah, there's been a lot of information to take in if you are a beginner. So don't let it overwhelm you too much. The most important thing is to just do some work every day on your business to try and move it forward, whether that be finalizing the store, whether that be creating some ads, running your first campaigns. If you have run your first campaigns, look at the data. Don't just guess, don't just wing it. Actually read the data, see what didn't work, what did work, what you can improve on. Ashley said, are there any other series coming up? I just started this weekend and I'm working on everything. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think we have anything coming up super soon, but in our Zendrop Academy, we do coaching. We do one coaching call per week with myself, and then we basically do 2 coaching calls per week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But Thursday we do store reviews, so everybody joins and we review. I review your stores and give you feedback on how you can improve them. And Tuesdays I usually cover a topic, so it would be running ads or some new strategy you can implement on your store. And then we do quite a bit of Q&A, like how we're doing right now. So if you're in the Zendrop Academy, we run those on Tuesdays and Thursdays. In terms of a long series, we probably will have some coming up again soon, I would imagine. But we've just finished this one, so we'll have to plan that one out. William said, when you request a product from AliExpress, do you have to order it in bulk for Zendrop to fulfill it? No, you don't. No, it's still drop shipping. So Zendrop will just go and source it for you, but you can still drop ship it. You don't have to order it in bulk. Jill said, I noticed when I import a product and change the price, I get a strike through / reduced amount instead of an entirely new price. You can actually change that in Shopify. I'll just show you. So in Shopify, if you're getting it's called a compare at price. So the strike through, you could come to your product. You should see, so I don't have it right now because I don't have it set up, but you should see compare at price. If you just delete the information in compare at price, the normal price will show again. Okay. If you can't see compare at price, choose the product, click on bulk edit, choose columns, and you'll see compare at price there. All right. And we'll just close the columns. So now we can see I have this compare at price. All right. So mine's saying $29.98. I just delete that and hit save. That means the normal price will be the price of the product. Okay. So that's what you need to do. Just delete the compare at price. Wazir said, is it really necessary to use Minia for product research? You can use free tools. So we have done a coaching call. If you have a look in the Zendrop Academy at the recordings, we've done a coaching call on product research and how to find products for free. But the good thing about using a tool like Minia is you can also, it's an ad spy tool. It's not just for finding products. You can also look at all of the ads that are performing well. Because when you look on the meta ads library, you don't necessarily know which ads are actually the ones that are bringing in sales. With tools like Minia, you can actually see ads that have the most engagement. So ads that have the most likes, the most shares, the most comments. And usually the ads with the most engagement are the ones that they're spending the most on, which means they're likely bringing in the most sales. So that way you can it takes the guesswork out of what type of ads to create, because you can look at exactly the exact ads that your competitors are running and bringing them in sales. But yeah, if you're on a tight budget, you can find products without using a product research tool. Just a tool like Miniad helps you take the guesswork out of what ads are actually working. And I guess it's just less time consuming as well. Sometimes it can be very time consuming doing everything manually. You use a tool like Minia, you just log in and like they've got hundreds of products on there for you to look at. Ashley said, I planned on using only TikTok Shop as my platform. Do you recommend using Shopify? Yes. Yeah, you'll definitely want to use Shopify. TikTok Shop they don't want drop shippers on the platform. You'll probably get banned. Depends where you are. But in the UK, where I'm based, you cannot drop ship on TikTok Shop. You have to order in bulk and fulfill with local couriers. So I don't know if it's the same in the US. Jill said, I just want to make sure I understand. When you say Zendrop source products, that means when someone orders, Zendrop will ship directly to the customer. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So Zendrop have their own warehouses. So someone orders from your website on Shopify, syncs through to Zendrop, then Zendrop will fulfill the product and send it to your customer. Excuse me. Jill said, how long does it take from order to receipt by customer? Really depends on the product. So you can come into, as a matter of fact, let me stop sharing this and I'll show you. You can come into Zendrop and you can look at the shipping times for any product that you want to sell. So we come to find products. We'll choose Zendrop fulfillment. And let's say I wanted to start selling this leather backpack. You can see here the shipping time is 8 days. Okay. There is a short processing time. I believe processing time is usually 1 to 3 days. So, for example, for this product, if the processing time is 1 day, it's going to get to your customer in 9 days. If it's 3 days, it will get to your customer in 11 days. You can see for each country, if we come in here and I type in United Kingdom, you can see to the UK, it's 9 days. If I type in Canada, for Canada, it's also 9 days. If we type in Australia, for example, it's going to take 10 days. So you can see how long it's going to take, depending on where you want to ship to, and you can also see the shipping costs and everything. Wazir said, so today is the last day of the challenge. How will we know if anyone really passed this challenge or not? A lot of the people from the challenge are joining the Zendrop Academy, and students in the Zendrop Academy post their wins. So we should hopefully see some people who have got close or surpassed the 100 sales in 10 days posting in the Zendrop Academy. And we'll try and, of course, I'm sure we will try and collate some testimonials from people who joined the challenge to share, but it may take us some time to get that information, of course. Wazir said, are there any students from Bangladesh? Yeah, I would imagine so. There are a lot of students in the Zendrop Academy from all different countries, all different skill levels or experience levels. So I would imagine there definitely are. I don't know every student, because we have so many in there. But I'm pretty certain we do have students from Bangladesh, yeah, in the Zendrop Academy, yeah. Joe's based in South Florida. Very nice. I hope the weather's nice there now. It's very cold here in the UK. It's close to the minuses these last few days. So I'm missing the sun. Um, okay, let me know if you do have any other questions on influencers and affiliates for anybody that joined late, or anything that I covered, or any other questions that you have. Jill said she can't complain when it's chilly in Florida. No one feels sorry for her. Yeah. It's a slightly different level of chilly. William said, where can you find the influencers, especially the smaller ones? Honestly, the best way is just to go on Instagram and start following pages in your niche, because then you'll get suggestions. You'll get um, follower suggestions for your page, and you'll start to see smaller pages based on those suggestions. So if you follow loads of pages in the same niche, then you'll get suggested more pages in that niche. So, for example, the store I showed you, it's home decor and lighting. If you follow loads of big pages in home decor and lighting, then you'll start to see smaller pages. iPhone said they're in Las Vegas. Very nice. Definitely nice and hot there. Wazir said, do you have any recommended videos for profile setup? So I'm just going to read this again because we've got some stuff in the chat. Wazir said, do you have any recommended videos for profile setup and payments? Because PayPal is not available in Bangladesh. Let's have a look. You could use, there is one called Payoneer and 2Checkout, which I think you can integrate with Shopify, and they accept cards. So you might want to look at Payoneer or 2Checkout. There is one called WorldPay, but I'm not sure if it integrates with Shopify just yet. But yeah, I would check out Payoneer and 2Checkout. Those are two sort of they're still fairly trusted payment gateways that you could potentially use. Ashley said she saw a video in November 2024 saying you can use Zendrop to dropship on TikTok Shop, but you have to use a certain warehouse address. I don't know if either of if Patty or Luis, if you know us, as far as I know, you cannot integrate Zendrop with TikTok Shop. So I don't think that's correct at this point. Roymo said, I'm designing my store. I haven't launched yet. The product I've added are showing out of stock. Will this change when I finish my store and launch it? If they're showing out of stock on your Shopify store, you likely need to go into your shipping settings and click on locations. Okay. So I could try and show you. Let me go into one of these stores. So when you import a product, come into your shipping and delivery settings in Shopify, click on general shipping rates, and you will see you'll see locations, fulfillment locations. So make sure that Zendrop is in here. So you can add, you can set up a shipping setting for any location. So just make sure that you've done that, and then your products won't show as sold out anymore. Um, so yeah, Patty, who also works at Zendrop, has just said to reach out to support@zendrop.com. So if you guys do have any issues, for example, like setting up TikTok shop and things like that, you can always ask at that email address as well. um, yeah. So it seems like everybody in the chat has their store already set up, which is good. Uh, so let us know if you have any more questions, because we will probably wrap it up if that's everybody's questions. Um, yeah, like I say, if you don't have your store set up already, before we end the call, you can go to storebuild.ai. You can get your store set up in a few minutes. We do have our Zendrop Academy as well, where we do coaching calls twice per week, just basically the same as how we're doing now. We cover different topics related to dropshipping. We do Q&A, we do store reviews. We have all of the recordings in there for each session. Jill said, this was helpful. Yeah, no problem. Have a look over the previous 9 sessions as well. Wazir said, is there anything last you'd like to say for the ending of the challenge? Yeah, I think it's, whoever's in this call is, you guys are likely the most dedicated people, because you've lasted all the way to the final day, which is really good to see. So, don't let it be in vain. You've taken in a lot of information over the last 10 days. So go and actually apply it now. Go and, as Jill said, review over the previous sessions, see what you can take out of it. Don't try and do everything at once. We've covered a lot in these 10 days. So you don't need to be doing email marketing and influencer marketing and ads and, everything all at once. Just pick one topic that we've covered and apply it first, and then you can move on to the next topic. Okay, so let's say, for example, the first thing is you need to make sure your store is a high converting store. So go and have a look at our session on building a high converting store and go and build out your page. The next thing, maybe you want to start running some ads. So then look at how you can begin running your first ad campaign. Then after that, maybe you want to start building an email list. Once you've got your ads up and running and you've got some people, some traffic coming and maybe some sales coming in, then you want to be able to build an email list. So then you can look at the email marketing segment. And then maybe you want to expand away from ads and you want to start using influencers. So then you can come back to this session. Don't try and do it all at once. From my experience, when you try to when you try to do too many things, you can't focus on anything and nothing gets done. So just pick one thing at a time and try and master it. Don't have to become a complete expert, but let's say, for example, with ads, try and get good at ads first before you go and do SEO for your store, or before you try and get good at one ad platform. So try to master, for example, Meta ads before you then move on to Google ads, right? So try to do a lot of, do research outside of these sessions as well. Okay, there's lots of good content online. So, there's lots of good books you can read about marketing, about writing copy. So try to learn, across the board and get good at a few specific things that you need for drop shipping, instead of trying to learn all of them at once. There are a lot of things that I'm not good at, right? Even after 8 years. So just try to get good at the main things that are going to bring you in sales and push things forward. I think we've already answered this question. Wazir said, do you recommend any Udemy courses for extra content? To be honest with you, most stuff is like we have courses in the ZenDrop Academy, and there's a lot of stuff on YouTube now, which is completely free. So I wouldn't overdo it with the courses. The more important, your time is better spent just actually doing the stuff. You could watch, 30 courses on Facebook ads, but you're probably just better off just running a campaign and seeing what happens and then reading the data of your own campaign instead of watching 30 courses of other people talking about it. So yeah, I would say instead of watching and consuming lots of more educational content after this 10-day challenge, just go and try it.
No, non è coerente, Pippo.
Patty, if you could just mute yourself, if that's okay. Wazir said, thanks, you were great throughout the journey. Yeah, glad to give everybody help and support. Nicholas said, where can I get support for the store? Because I don't know what I'm doing. You can join our ZenDrop Academy. So we've got some lessons and some courses on building out your store step by step. We also do store reviews every week in the ZenDrop Academy. So you can join. I provide feedback on how you can improve it. That's probably a good place to start. So I think we're going to wrap it up there. I think I've answered everybody's questions. So like I said, that's pretty much it for this 100 sales in 10 days challenge. Great to see some familiar faces over these last 10 days. Yeah, give yourself a pat on the back if you've joined all of the calls and you've taken in all of the information. And like I say, now it's time to just put it into action. Hopefully I'll see some of you in the ZenDrop Academy as well. So it would be good to see everybody and see how you're getting on with your stores and how they're improving, and we can work together again. But yeah, in the meantime, like I say, just start getting cracking on with things a few hours a day at least, and you will eventually see success if you stick to it, and you just work it every day and try to improve. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you hopefully all soon.